Welcome to the Skull Show. I'm your host, Paxton. We're here with Jason today. We're going to get the 2023-2024 season underway with our week one predictions. Are you excited for New Year football?
Yo, are you?
I am. I can't wait.
Are you gonna go to the Vikings Saints game in the US Bank Stadium and say "skull that" to Saints fans?
Probably not, just because last time that happened, it didn't go too well for us. But we're not gonna go too much into that story because it's a long one. But
Oh, okay.
well, if you want to tell the story, go ahead.
No, we can save that for later. We'll wait that for Saints week for that one.
Yeah, Saints week. So what is that week? That's later. That's like middle season, right?
Yeah, I think your dad's black eye will be healed by then.
Yeah, hopefully. Yeah, that's a little preview on the story. So stay tuned throughout the year to get your Saints predictions. But we'll talk about some other topics before we get into week one predictions. Just because we didn't post much during the off season, I do post pretty much every day on the Instagram. So go follow that. I'll put a link in the description. But if you want to hear our feedback onto what happened, we'll start now. Starting off with T.J. Hawkinson extension, 4 years, $68.5 million. What do you think? What do you think about it?
Well, they were kind of cornered. They were backed into a corner.
Yeah.
They traded multiple draft picks for him, so the front office felt like they had to sign him. So it is what it is. We'll see. He might go in the tank now that he got paid.
Yeah. I'm a big fan of Hawkinson, so I'm not mad at the move. I'm not going to show it, but over there, I have a Hawkinson jersey signed framed. And I'm a big fan of Hawkinson. Went to Iowa. Obviously, we're Iowa fans in the Skull Show household.
We're Iowa fans?
In the Skull Show household. You, however, are not so much. We'll get into college football in a little bit, but we'll talk about the extension. T.J. Hawkinson.
Prime time.
Yeah.
Prime time. Prime time. Prime time.
Yep. Wow, what a game. But first, we'll touch on, do you think JJ gets extended into the next week? In the next week? During the season or before the season? Or next off season?
Well, you know that I hope never, but I would say after the season.
Yeah.
Maybe during.
I think that we'll sign him during the season. By the way, we'll get into this later, but did you come with your 3 bold predictions?
Yeah, yep.
Sounds good. I did not, so I'm going to come up with them on the fly. But we're good. All right, now we can talk a little bit of college football. We'll start off Iowa, Minnesota, both won. Both should have maybe won by a little bit more, but we both got the job done. But the real talk is the Colorado Shower Sanders, or however you say that name, in prime time. Wow.
Prime time. Prime time. Prime time.
Yeah.
They're probably only going to win 4 games this year, but that's a good start.
Yeah.
They'll
TCU,
be good next year.
TCU a bit overrated. Went into that game ranked 15th. They looked like they might have flipped those numbers around. It should be 51, but
yeah, they're not very good.
Yeah,
Colorado win for prime time. Prime time.
Yeah, already matched last year's win total with 1. So that's a
good start.
Yeah. So
they'll be legit contenders in the next couple of years. So will Nebraska, unfortunately.
Really? I don't.
Yeah, they have a good coach.
Yeah, they said that about the Gophers, but
What they say about the Gophers?
They had a good coach.
They do. It's the best one in the country.
Yeah.
As soon as he leaves the Gophers, then I won't follow college football. So during these videos, you'll have to edit out the college conversations. Mm-hmm. Well, I might be a primetime fan, though. Prime time.
How do you feel about what? Oh, I can't think of his name. It's going to make me mad. I'll look it up. But the one kid who played both ways.
Oh, that was,
Travis Hunter. I didn't even need to look it up. I know I started typing in. I only typed up Colorado football. But
Primetime said that he's better than he was when he played.
Yeah, wow.
Is that good?
It's pretty good. I didn't watch Primetime because obviously I'm a bit young for that, but from the highlights.
I would trade JJ, Hawkinson, and 2 first-round picks for Sanders and Hunter right now. That's a bold prediction.
Yeah.
Is that a comment or a prediction?
That's a comment. I don't feel like that's really a prediction. So, well, do we want to do the game predictions and save the bold predictions for the end so they stay for that?
Yep.
All right. So, we'll start week 1, NFL time. It's NFL week. This video, I assume, will get posted Wednesday, maybe, but definitely by Thursday's games. And it's football. It's football week right now. We're recording
There's
this.
football right now, look, and there's baseball.
Yeah. Who's playing right now? College?
Yep, Duke and Clemson. And then the Twins are ahead of the Cleveland Indians 20-3. Is that good?
I don't believe that.
Yep, it's 20-3.
Oh, wow. Yeah, you're not lying.
Shouldn't have changed their name. Probably would play better.
Isn't this supposed to be like a tight division race, too?
Wow, it's the worst division in baseball, but
Oh, yeah.
still not over, but whatever. We'll see what happens. 20-3 is not bad. They probably scored all the runs for the week, though.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Prime time. Prime time.
Speaking of prime time, what a segue there. But we'll go into Thursday Night Football. Lions at Chiefs. We both have the Chiefs winning this game, but you have the Chiefs winning 23. You want to make any comments on that? Or 30 to 29. 30 to 29. I was talking about the Twins game.
I think that the Chiefs' defense is going to be bad to start the year.
Mm-hmm.
They'll look a little rusty. Post Super Bowl hangover. Detroit, there is a good chance they come out and lay an egg since everybody thinks they're going to be good this year, but they'll keep it close. They might win, but I'm going Chiefs by 1.
Yeah, I have the Chiefs 33 to 17. I think the Chiefs, obviously Chris Jones holding out isn't going to help, but I feel like the Lions just can't live in the hype. The Lions are the Lions. This is going to come back to bite me at the end of the year when we play them 2 out of 3 games to end the season, when it probably is going to matter for the division. It's come back to bite me, but the Lions are the Lions. We're not worried about them yet.
Well,
So
we'll talk about that during my bold prediction.
yeah, we'll get to those. Stay tuned. You can't leave. And then Vikings versus Tampa Bay. Vikings football is back. You did your introduction for its playoff time. Hopefully we get that again this year. But we have to start off in week 1 just because that's how it works. And you have the Vikings crushing Tampa Bay 31 to 7.
I just copied the 1998 Week 1 score against Tampa Bay.
Yeah, I watched that. I watched that on the Vikings YouTube channel.
Moss might be playing it, so they'll win 31-7, so we're good.
Mm-hmm.
However, what if Baker Mayfield comes out and has 400 yards, 3 TDs, wins the game, and then the Bucs go 3-14 and he's benched by the end of the year? I can see that happening.
Yeah, that seems like something the Vikings would do.
Prime time.
I have the Vikings winning 31 to 22. I think that the defense, Brian Flores brings it in. We're going to start the year hot, kind of like we did on offense, just because there's not much, well, there is because he used to be a former head coach, but there's not very much film to watch for with Brian Flores so far on the Vikings with our talent group. So I think we start off the season hot just because you don't know what to expect as an opposing offense. But I feel like similar to last year, we'll start off, well, I think our record's not going to show that we're doing good just because we started off the season so rough, but schedule-wise. But I feel like we're going to look good on defense and at least compete with the teams because last year, Donshell, what a mess.
Players aren't very, they don't have many different good defense players, though, so it'll be interesting.
In fact, we've lost 2, could be wrong, but for sure 2 difference makers in Zadarius Smith. Well, actually, he was a difference maker for like 8 weeks, and then just disappeared. And then Eric Kendricks, who I feel like was getting a little bit old, but we're going to miss him just because he's a good player.
Well, I was going to go to the game. People invited me to the game, but I actually have to play the secondary for the Vikings on Sunday, so I'll actually be there, but I'll be on the field.
Yeah, so...
Is that good?
Yep. Speaking of which, we'll probably have a post-game reaction walking out of US Bank Stadium or something like that, just a quick video talking about it, because we'll both be at the game. I know for sure I'm going, but are you going?
I think so, unless I have to play. Depends on if I have to play.
Yeah, just give me
Prime time.
just give me a visa to get on the field, and we can do the post-game reaction on your performance. But that leads us into our next matchup, which is interesting score for sure. But you have the Ravens beating the Texans 16-2.
Yeah, the Texans will get an early safety, and then the Ravens will score 16 unanswered for the 16-2 win. Either that, or they'll get a 2-run home run in the first, and then they'll get outscored 16-2. Just think, the Indians are 20-5. They're behind 20-5 right now.
Wow, they're coming back. We might have to turn that game on towards the end of this podcast.
I heard you took the under. Is that good?
Yep. We'll go back into. I have the Ravens winning 27-13. I think the Texans might catch on a little bit just with C.J. Stroud. I don't know if he's good or not in NFL wise, but I think they'll catch on a little bit, but not to start. Ravens, who I don't think are a juggernaut of a team, but I still think they'll get the job done. Win 27-13 at home. Defend M&T Bank, which is what I like that stadium actually when we went there, but
not bad.
Yeah, I think that the Ravens get the job done, which leads us into our next game, which you have an upset happening, if I read this right. Yeah, you have the Browns beating the Bengals 17-20.
I don't think that's an upset. I don't even know who the Bengals quarterback is. Do you?
Oh, is Joe Burrow not playing?
No, he's not playing.
For sure. Wait, let me look at this. My prediction is going to have to change on the fly if he's not playing.
Even if he's playing, I'm keeping my prediction.
Yeah?
Cleveland's playing for Kevin Stefanski's life, otherwise he's getting fired.
It's true. Kevin Stefanski, former Viking offensive coordinator, it was, right?
Yeah, 1 year, then he got hired. Kind of a fraud. We'll see.
Yeah. So, I thought Stefanski was pretty solid offensive coordinator when he was here. He was able to cover up for Mike Zimmer, just doing nothing offense related.
We love Zimmer though.
Yeah. I don't. You do.
Everybody loves Zimmer.
Not our quarterback, Kirk Cousins.
Well.
Yeah.
No comment.
I have the Bengals beating the Browns 27-21. I don't have it being a blowout just because it's AFC North matchup, but I feel like the Bengals are just an overall better team. Even if Joe Burrow's not playing, I still think the Bengals get it done. It's probably going to be more low scoring, but I just feel like the Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, too much for the Cleveland Browns.
Browns win.
Yeah, that is a bold prediction, but it's not one of yours, obviously, because it's just a score prediction. And then we go into Titans at Saints. You have the Titans beating the Saints 23-21.
Yeah, Saints are going to be terrible without Sean Payton, David Carr, Derek Carr, whichever Carr is playing.
Derek.
Not going to do anything. Scold at, who dat, where dat, no dat.
Yeah. So, I do have the Saints winning just because the Titans have no talent, in my opinion. Derrick Henry, D-Hop.
They have one of the best coaches in the NFL, though.
Mike Vrabel, yeah, he's pretty good, but I think the Saints get this done. The Saints come marching into is it the Caesars Superdome now? That's what they call it, but
it's the who dat, no dat, score dat. That's what it is.
Yeah. Well, I have the Saints winning 23-17. I think this won't be very much watched game outside of New Orleans and Tennessee, respectively. But yeah, and then we go into Panthers at Falcons. You have. I didn't organize this, but I'll find it. You don't have that prediction down, so Panthers versus.
Oh, I didn't do that one.
Yeah.
You know that primetime used to play for the Falcons. Prime time.
Yeah.
So in the spirit of primetime, we'll go Falcons. I don't even know who their quarterback is. Falcons,
Desmond Ritter.
19. Panthers 18.5.
Should I write that down on here?
You can go 19-18.
All right. So you have the Falcons winning.
Thielen will have 4 catches for 21 yards.
And touchdown or no?
Nope.
Nope. All right. I have the Falcons also winning by a similar score, 22-20. I like the Falcons this year. Bijan Robinson, I think I don't think he should have been drafted that early, but I think he's definitely a good player. And going into a system where he's gonna get opportunities. Obviously, Desmond Ritter, I don't know how I feel about him as a passer. So I think that Bijan Robinson is gonna get his fair share of carries. And the Panthers, Bryce Young. I mean,
Hey, Quinn!
welcome.
Who's going to win the Falcons-Panthers game?
I don't care.
What? She doesn't care.
She does not care. Well,
Yeah.
Good night.
bye, Quinn.
Those are my earrings he's wearing.
Uh-oh.
Why would I wear earrings?
Because he wants to.
Love you. Good night.
Thank you, Quinn. Bye, Quinn. So,
Just so you know, I actually think the Falcons are going to lose. The only reason I picked them is because of prime time. Prime time.
yeah. I mean, that's fair. But, what was I saying? Something about... Oh, yeah. Okay. I think Bryce Young is a good talent, but we love Adam. Respect you. We'll miss you in Minnesota. But who's he throwing the ball to? Like, let's be real. Adam Thielen 3 years ago, 4 years ago, maybe, that would have been a great offense. But I don't know how I feel about Adam Thielen being a wide receiver 1.
Yeah, that's not good. He's really old.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure he's younger than you by a decent amount, though, so.
Well, I play both ways. I started the defensive secondary for the Vikings, and I might have to play receiver for the Panthers.
You're going to have to fly down in between every drive.
I'll take a helicopter like, prime time, prime time. Do you know that Primetime once took a helicopter after Atlanta Falcons baseball
yep,
game
to a baseball
Atlanta
game.
Braves baseball game? No big deal.
I did hear about that, yeah.
Because he's prime time.
So, I think it's safe to say you're a pretty big fan of Prime Time.
I like Prime.
Yeah. Prime energy drink, too? Or is that just... Do you even know what that is? Yeah, I was gonna say it's pretty much Gatorade, but that's a topic for a different type of YouTube channel.
Do you know this chain costs more than all the money that the entire audience that's watching this show will ever make in their entire life? It's solid gold.
Yeah, looks like it.
I can barely keep my neck up. It's so heavy.
Yeah. So we'll go into the next game. You have the Colts beating the Jaguars. So this is, I mean, I guess you have a lot of trust in Anthony Richardson.
I just think the Jaguars are going to start slow after having a good end of the season last year. That's all I got.
Yeah, I mean, this game probably won't even affect the Vikings even a slight bit during the season. But I have the Jaguars winning 31-17. I just think Anthony Richardson kind of getting thrown into the fire by being the week 1 starter. Similar to most of these quarterbacks in this draft class. But, I mean, again, this game doesn't really affect us. So, just Panthers.
If they think Peyton Manning's walking in those doors, then they're wrong.
Yeah? Is that a bold prediction?
Nope.
Didn't think so. Wow, okay. I just looked at this for the first time. We go into our next game. You have the 49ers losing to Pittsburgh 16-17.
I don't even know, is Brock Purdy playing quarterback yet or no?
I don't think it matters, but that's a good question.
Yeah, that's a loss. That's a loss for the Niners. The Niners, though, might win the Super Bowl, but they're going to lose week 1.
Interesting. So I'm doing my slides right now on the fly because I kind of got these. This is recorded. We weren't planning on recording tonight, but we ended up doing it. So which color should I use for the Steelers out of their yellow, blue, and red? I think the yellow's got to be the choice, right?
Yep, for sure. Especially after beating the Niners on week 1.
Mm-hmm. And I have the Niners. This is pretty far apart, but I have the Niners winning 34-13. The Pittsburgh Steelers. I mean, actually, now that I think about it, I probably shouldn't have them winning by this much. But, I mean, going into Pittsburgh, it's Heinz Field. It's always going to be Heinz Field. I know it's technically not, but going into Heinz Field, good atmosphere. I don't think they're going to get this big of a win now that in reflection, but I have the Niners winning 34-13. They're just a better team overall. So.
Do you think if the Steelers went 0-17 that not only Tomlin would get fired, they would change the stadium name from Heinz Field to Hunts Field? Could that happen? Do you like Hunt's ketchup or Heinz ketchup better?
Didn't know that Hunt's ketchup existed, so I guess Heinz by default.
Google it.
Hunt's, like as in hunting or Daniel Hunter?
HUNTZ.
Is this the real thing?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it is. I think I'll have to go with Heinz.
Restaurants with poor people running it have Hunt's restaurant. Real restaurants have Heinz.
Yeah, that's fair. So what about buffalo chips? What do they got?
Actually, they might have Hunt's.
Well, I don't think anyone's going there for their ketchup, so I think they get a pass.
Should we take a break real quick and call Buffalo Chips while we're on this to
Go.
ask them?
Go ahead.
Let's see if it works. Hold on. Hold on. Still there?
Yep.
Yeah, we got to figure this out. This is a big deal. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah. Well, we'll get into the next week while we wait. You have the Commanders beating the Cardinals 17-10. Again, lackluster game. I don't see any of these teams doing anything this year, but
Pretty sure if I picked the Redskins, not the Commanders.
yeah. Did you know they might change their name back with the new owner? Well, we lost Jason temporarily because he's going to be calling Buffalo Chips, but I have the Commanders winning 24-20 over Arizona. I think that this game doesn't really matter too much at all, but yeah. Make sure to leave a like on the video while we wait for Jason to come back. And I'll go into my next prediction for the next game. Raiders versus Broncos. I have the Raiders winning 32-21. I think that the Raiders are just a better team than the Broncos. Maybe Sean Payton brings a new light to the Broncos, but I mean, I just don't really know for sure. We got Jason back.
Okay, I got good news and bad news. The bad news is we got disconnected when I called Buffalo Chips. The good news is they did answer the phone. And the lady that answered didn't know. She had kind of broken English, a little bit of an accent, but she did check into it, and you'll be happy to know they have Heinz ketchup.
Okay.
So we solved that mystery today, so there's one thing.
That was an interesting call in during the show, but
It was an actual call. It did happen. I wish I would have recorded it.
Yeah, that is one of the. Can't wait for a new season of football. We've already episode 1 called a show.
Prime time. We call Buffalo Chips. They got Heinz ketchup. What is going to be next?
The next game, you mean?
Yeah.
We got Broncos versus Raiders. You have the Broncos killing them 28-6.
Yep. Don't like Sean Payton, but he wins games. That's all you got.
Yeah, he does that. I already made my prediction while you were gone. So, yeah, I had the Raiders winning 32-21. And just because it's Devontae and Josh Jacobs, maybe Jimmy G does good, but, you know. Next game, this is actually, I think, a pretty good game. You have the Dolphins beating the... Oh, wait, no, you don't. I just haven't looked at it yet. You have the Dolphins losing to the Chargers 38-27. High-scoring game, and I also have a high-scoring.
Yeah, I don't think the Dolphins are going to be that great. They'll be like middle of the pack. Chargers might actually finally put it together this year and make the playoffs. We'll see. Otherwise, Herbert's overrated. If he doesn't make the playoffs this year, he's overrated. Stats guy, doesn't win games.
That's fair. It's harsh, but I think that's actually a very fair analysis of Jay Herb. But, yeah, it's a really talented team. They just got to put it together. I have the Dolphins winning 33-27. I think that I don't think they win because of Tua. I think they win despite of Tua. I don't think Jalen Ramsey's playing. I don't think that matters. And Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, that's a great duo. The Vikings signed their former starting running back from a few years ago, Myles Gaskin, to be our RB3. Do you know who that is or anything about that?
Yeah, they traded for him. He'll be probably the starting running back at some point.
Yeah, I mean...
I don't think it matters. Infant doesn't like starting running backs. When Infant was at the Rams with the head coach there, I can't remember his name.
Sean McVay.
Yeah, they didn't have a starting running back. They rotated like 5 guys. That's what they're going to do now.
Yeah, and I think, honestly, if it works, then that's great because I know you don't want to say it, but we got the best receiver in football, Justin Jefferson, on our team. Jordan Addison,
retired years ago.
the best current receiver in football.
Prime time.
Yeah, Jordan Addison, who newly acquired autograph this year, I'll show you. And I think he'll be good just because.
How come he signed at number 140? Well, that's the miles per hour he's going in his car.
That's harsh, but yeah, fair.
Hey, he was driving. It's not our fault.
Yeah, that's fair. So
he had instead of a damsel in distress, he had a dog in distress, and he was rushing into the bed at 4 a.m. going 140 down 94. Oh man.
do you buy it?
Prime time, but not buy that. Nope.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I don't really buy it either. But we go into a Super Bowl rematch. You were at this game, Eagles versus Patriots. You have the Eagles winning.
Oh no, I have Patriots.
You have the Patriots winning 20-19. Where did I get this from? Oh, that's where. Okay. Well, you have the Patriots winning 20-19.
Yep.
Isn't that the year that the Super Bowl took place in too? No, that's 20. Ooh, it probably was early 2019.
Ooh, that was a good prediction then by me, wasn't it?
Yeah, although on here, unfortunately, it will show up as 1920, but
that's right.
Yeah.
The Patriots are going to revenge their loss in the Super Bowl. Refs were cheating for the Eagles. Now they're going to get their revenge, and Belichick beats them. Eagles aren't going to be very good.
That I disagree with, just because do we
have 3 bowl predictions at the end?
I don't have them ready, but I'll come up with some.
Oh, I have mine ready. I have 2 of them ready.
Yeah, so we'll finish these, though, because I have the Eagles winning 41-21. Patriots just aren't that good of a team. Bill Belichick, I hate to say it, but it looks like it was because of Tom Brady. Just putting that out there.
Prime time.
Yeah, I mean, it's looking like because it was Tom Brady, but yeah, it's a little bit of a hot take right there, but I do stand by that. And then we go to our next game, 2 of our division rivals, Bears versus Packers, 21-20. Bears is your prediction. I hope that happened. Actually, both of these teams I'm not too worried about this year, but we could, again, eat those words, but you have the Bears winning 21-20.
That's all I got. We'll talk more about this later in my bowl predictions.
Okay. A little bit of foreshadowing there. I have the Packers winning 27-17. I think that Justin Fields is going to figure out that you actually have to throw the ball to be a successful quarterback in this game. And I think the Packers start off the year hot. And I don't think they'll be that good this year, but I do think they get the Week 1 win over the Bears. The Bears.
Ditka. Mike Ditka. He
Yeah.
didn't have prime time. He wishes he had prime time.
Yeah. And then we go to next game, if I can find it on here. Oh, he probably has chickens, yeah. 24-18, you have the Rams beating the Chickens.
Chickens are terrible. Rams will be better than people expect. 24-18 Rams.
Yeah. I have it being 24-20 Seahawks. I think the Rams, I do agree that they will be better than people think, but I mean, they went all in for that Super Bowl. They got the win, which is great for them, but their team is not looking, their future isn't looking too bright right now. That's all I got to say about that.
This chain is so heavy. It's like just tearing my neck apart, but I'm strong.
Yeah. And then we go into Sunday Night Football. You have the Cowgirls winning, I assume. Again, I have to look at it. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Cowgirls
Giants are
beating the Giants 27-21. The Giants did beat us in that game. And also, would you like me to make the Cowboys score pink? Because they're the Cowgirls after all.
Yep.
Alright, I'll get that done for both of us now. But the Giants...
Giants are terrible. They might win 6 games this year. Infant got owned by him in the playoffs. What an embarrassment. Should have been fired on the spot, but whatever. He's back.
That is one hot take right there.
That's unacceptable.
Yeah, I have a very similar score. I have the Cowgirls winning 31-21, so only 4 points off. And I think that the Cowgirls get business done. I do think the Giants won't be too good this year, but I mean, I don't think it'll be a blowout, and you don't either. But I mean, I think the Cowboys are just a better team after all. Traded for the team that we actually play tomorrow. We play Marshall football, and that's where Cowboys backup quarterback went to high school.
Who?
Trey Lance went to.
He's at the Cowboys now?
Yeah, he got traded.
Oh, he's terrible.
Yeah.
When you play him tomorrow, talk smack and tell all the players how terrible Trey Lance is.
Yeah.
Are you,
I mean, I don't
down
think
at the bottom of the pile, whisper to him how bad Trey Lance is.
I don't really plan on getting in any piles considering I'm a safety and wide receiver, but
But you can still be in the pile.
yeah. I also hope we don't fumble, but if they fumble, yeah, I'll make sure to let them know that Trey Lance sucks.
Do it.
Yeah. And we go into Monday Night Football. You have the Bills beating the Jets 30-14.
Just rough start for A-Rod, but he'll be fine.
Yeah.
He'll be fine. First game.
Mhm.
Bills are mad that they lost and choked again last year, so they'll start off hot. They won't do anything, though, late in the year, but they'll win tomorrow, or this week, whenever that game is.
That's in a week from today, and in literally a week from this second, they'll be playing the Jets.
Nice. Prime time.
Then I have the Bills winning 27-25. I also have the Bills winning, but I don't see it being as much as a blowout. I do think Rodgers struggles a little bit in this opening game for him as a New York Jet. He's played 20 years, 15 years as a Green Bay Packer. Sorry to hear that for him, but it's true.
Jets, Jets.
Yup.
Prime time never played for the Jets.
Just giving us a history lesson on primetime throughout this.
Yep. Today's topic is prime time. That's why we have the chain.
Yep.
Got the threads. Prime time.
Yeah, so
Is that all the games?
yeah, so that brings us to our bold predictions for the Vikings. So for next week, do you think, this is off the record, but do you think, actually it'll be still in the video because I'm not going to go through this far, probably editing it out, but do you think that you'll be able to do next week's video?
Yeah, I'll be good.
So that means that we'll have an accountability session for our predictions
Yep.
next week. We'll
Yep.
do 2 separate videos. We'll probably record them back to back, but we'll have an accountability session for all of our predictions and bold predictions, and then we'll make our predictions for next week.
Well,
And
if I did good, then I'll be accountable for them. But if I did bad, it's not my fault because I'm prime time. So there's no accountability for my bad predictions. If they're bad. That's if they're bad.
yeah, so you want to start
Really
off
good.
with your bold predictions?
Sure, bold prediction number 1. Packers win the NFC North. Order of finishing the NFC North. Packers, Lions, Bears, Vikings. Bold prediction number 1. Bold prediction
That's a
number
parlay, isn't it? With the this is we're gonna call it a touchdown, grand slam, slam dunk, whatever you want to call it. But I need to make a Google Doc for it right now because I didn't even
2.
think about it.
Packers, Lions, Bears, Vikings. In that order. Bold prediction number 1. Packers win the NFC North. Bold prediction number 2. The Philadelphia Eagles don't make the playoffs.
Okay, yeah. That's also probably a touchdown, isn't it?
Bold prediction number 3. Maybe not so bold. Worst team record-wise in the NFL this season, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They get the number 1 pick, and they get Caleb Williams from USC. All part of their strategy. They might beat the Vikings, though, on Sunday, but they're going to be terrible this year. Terrible.
So, do you consider that a touchdown, do we think?
That's a single to right.
So, yeah, we'll have that as not touchdown. So you have all 3 of your predictions won't come off the board until the end of the year. So we'll keep that in mind. You have 2 touchdowns, so if that lands for you, that will be nice. And my predictions now, I'm going to start off. The Vikings win by 10 or more against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I don't think that's a touchdown, but
No, that's a chip shot.
yeah. Well, I don't know if it's a chip shot because we're the Vikings after all, the king of 1-score games. But I think it's.
Well, Tampa Bay's terrible.
We'll say it's a jump. We'll say that's a open 3-pointer.
If they lose, they might have to drive Infant out of town. Might have to escort him out of town.
Yeah. My
Do your,
bold.
do your viewers know who the Infant is?
Yeah. I don't think we've actually talked about that, but he refers to Kevin O'Connell as the Infant. So.
He is the Infant. But anyway, go ahead.
Yeah. My prediction 2. I think that I'll go for a little parlay here. I think Jay Jettis goes for over 100 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 8 catches against Tampa Bay.
That's another chip chat.
2 touchdowns? Really?
Are our bold predictions supposed to be just for the week or for the season?
They can be both.
So next week I'll come with bold predictions for the week. Since this was week 1, I went for big. I went big. I went for the season.
If I up it to 10 catches, does that make it a little bit more bold?
Sure.
It's not going to be a touchdown because I'll make this next prediction a touchdown. But I think that the Detroit Lions get the 3 seed in the NFC and advance to at least the divisional round.
So they got to win 1 playoff game?
Yeah.
Well, considering they've only won 1 playoff game in like 100 years, yeah, that's going to be a bold prediction.
Yeah, we'll call that a touchdown.
And their coach is a meathead, so that helps too.
What I say? I say they finish as 3, right, in the NFC.
Yeah.
Yeah, and advance to NFC.
So, what do you think is smarter, a bowl of chocolate ice cream melting in the sun, or the head coach of the Detroit Lions? I mean, fair question, right?
What? Yeah, that's pretty fair. That Dan Campbell's an interesting dude. Definitely.
I think he's got a couple screws loose up there.
We get knocked down, we'll bite a kneecap. We get knocked down again. They're gonna take 3 hits to knock us down. This time we come up, we bite another kneecap, and then I don't know how the rest goes, but
That's what he says.
yeah.
Ugh. Just a bird brain. Hey, where's Mad Dog? Mad Dog gotta eat. Where is he?
He's not here for this prediction. We'll try to get him in for some, but I actually don't.
Is he injured?
Yeah, he's on IR for. Well, actually not on IR. He's on the day-to-day list right now. So.
Really?
Yep. We'll hope to have him back by at least week 3, but hopefully next week. And.
Well, that's a good segue, and you should tell your viewers that the defending champion for your Mad Dogs Fantasy Football League is yours truly, me. I was prime time, as I won it all.
Yeah.
Championship.
You're the first one that's not in my direct family to win the championship, but.
Well, that's because I baited you guys in the first 5 years. I wanted you to feel better about life, have confidence, have a little self-esteem, and now it's all over. Now I defend my championship this year, back to back.
Yeah, I already did 1 fantasy draft this year. I don't love my team, to be honest. Hopefully none of the people in my league are watching this, but I don't love my team. So, I think that I need to bounce back, and I don't know what our league's called, but I need to bounce back there. And yeah, also we need to come up with a name for our bold prediction segment. So comment that down below. Or Jason, do you have any ideas for our bold prediction segment? What it should be called?
I'll have to think about that. I'll have to take that as a homework assignment.
Yeah.
So I'll have to take that one with me.
Yeah. So we hope to have a name for it next week. But for now, in this video, I'll just call it bold predictions. And well, I think that comes to a close of this episode. I think is a fun one, and thank you for being here.
Next week, prime time. Peace.
See ya.